She just sprouts out of it.
And I'm a plumber, so it makes even more sense.
Fucking
sprouts out like a toilet tree.
Wow. Oh my God. That's the name of the episode. Sprouts out like a toilet hyphen tree.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
The Shug, Shane Hollister. Logan, Ineichen. Lyndon, Ehlers. Wrastlin with music and life. For life.
Wrastlin with music and life, episode 9. We cracked the Kraken bottle. Which will probably, hopefully, be in the thumbnail, right, Lance? I don't know. Get a good picture of it before.
We gotta actually get better pictures. Pictures from the episode, because I'm so tired of scouring both of your photos from Facebook. Shane's got plenty, but Logan's, it's like, I don't want to use a picture from like 15 years ago.
Right. Because I'm fat as shit.
I'm like, I feel
to show the true meaning of fat.
I feel kind of bad cropping pictures from people's like family photos too, and that's what a lot of your stuff is. So,
got a family, you know. So in this episode, we did the Kraken, okay, and that's right now.
It's over here.
It's nice and cold. Oh shit! Okay,
because we were like, let's leave it over here.
Here it is,
out of the ice. Here, I'll stick it back.
So we're sponsored by Kraken now. Wouldn't that be fucked?
That would be kind of cool, actually.
I was thinking of how funny this would be if we get sponsored by some sort of alcohol. I think we're all gonna die, especially me. My liver's done.
I could just pretend like I'm drinking it too, you know?
Just pretend like you're having a podcast with us when we're dead, me and Lance.
Just prop your dead bodies up and I'll just talk to you like you're talking to me back.
It's like Hellraiser, but your hell is just trying to do a podcast with both of us too drunk.
Oh my God.
And you start making a really good point, and Logan's like, ha! Oh, yeah.
That sounds about right. Yeah. No, I would actually say, because
episode we ever did.
Shug sent me something that I want to pull up real quick. I don't know how much legality we can do here.
Rocky IV, but that song
fucking good.
And then that video,
very good.
So that part makes me want to actually go back to the gym every time I watch one of those parts.
I'm gonna send it to you right now. But Speed Strid's other band, the Night Flight Orchestra, it's like 80s.
Oh, I'm already fucking stoked.
I'll fucking send it to you immediately. It was my most listened to album from last year.
Really?
On Spotify.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Bob showed it to me.
I'm stoked.
So
they're fucking amazing.
We just watched a cover of a song,
Burning Heart,
which was
from Rocky IV,
and that's kind of where we can start, because I've seen the man in that played guitar on that, which is Pierre Nilsson, and I'm fucking up the name for sure because I don't know if it's.
I think it's
PERINILSSEN. And I seen him live with Meshuggah. He covered for Frederick Thorndahl, which is like
for like 2 years,
dude. For 2 years, and
maybe longer.
He was just playing with them live. He didn't like record on an album though, right?
No.
He was just live.
He killed Shug to where
he's amazing.
It was almost robotic in a sense because he did the exact notes of the song. So first time I've seen Meshuggah where the solo sounds like the solo from the album. And then he does a little improv, but usually Frederick Thorndahl does a different solo every time
which is cool.
We've talked about this once before.
Yes, we did.
It was we had this conversation on the way back from Chicago after we saw Meshuggah and the Faceless and Cynic.
Right. Amazing concert.
And
that sounds awesome.
you were saying first, unrelated, sort of. We heard Thomas Hawk fuck up because he had a herniated disc.
Oh yeah.
So he's probably in like the worst pain that whole tour.
That's insane.
And you turned around and looked at me like, wait, did you hear him fuck up? Yeah. Like, we're seeing Meshuggah. This is the first time I've seen Meshuggah, and you're like, did you hear him fuck up? And you just turn around.
Yeah, but no one else knew.
Dude, no, it was you. At least you and me in that 50-foot radius. Exactly. I don't know. I mean, maybe somebody else, but you and me were like gushing about hearing Thomas Hawk fuck up a note.
Right.
And it was perfect, too.
Yeah.
Because he fixed it perfect.
Oh, he'd get dead on.
And then, but on the way home, we were talking about it, and you were like, Frederick Thorndahl played all of his solos perfectly, which means he was fucking wasted.
Yeah. So that's from the Meshuggah documentary. And they said,
that's for real?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Frederick plays... No, it's not documentary. It's on YouTube somewhere, like back in the day. It's like, if Frederick plays perfect, that means he's fucked up. Or, in their weird ass... One of them... It wasn't one of the guys, because they speak better English than we do, dude.
Thomas Hawk sounds like he's from Wisconsin.
Yeah, he does. He really does. I was like, when they said that he was... Where are they from?
Well, he's Swedish. Like, Dick Lövgren is German.
But
the
like,
bassist is German.
He does not have a Swedish accent.
He does.
At all.
He does. It's light.
It's not as thick as like.
Most people in Sweden can speak English.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of Swedish people.
Yeah. By the way, better than you can.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. You know why? You know why? When you learn a fucking another language, you gotta understand language all together.
Yeah.
Which our language, other than German, apparently is the hardest dialect to understand because we have so many words for just one word.
So I've been learning German, and I would tell you German's not super hard.
Okay.
English is way harder. But in order to understand, like, in order to learn a language, you have to understand like what builds language, what puts language together. So the hardest part about learning German or another language is also learning to understand English like a lot better. Otherwise, because if you don't understand what a concept in English is, you're not going to understand how that relates to German, and you're not going to, it's imagine fighting styles.
Yes.
You're learning a fighting style. You're learning judo, or something that uses a lot of tossing, you're not going to if you understand a little bit of other fighting styles, other things will make sense because you'll understand how these differ and how this kind of thing translates differently and then blah, blah, blah. Yep. So it's fucking super hard to figure that out. Right. German itself is actually not difficult. There's actually a lot of things that are the same.
Okay.
But Swedish and German are very similar, and English is the hardest out of all fucking.
Well, that's what I figured too. Just because I forget what they're called, but they're something similar to the English, and there's a word for it.
It's called a false cognitive.
Is it
what you're talking about? Yeah.
So it's like
right, when you see a word in German.
Yeah. Where did the crack go?
Spelt.
Let's crack it over here.
I got to get some more in my cup, buddy.
So listen. Yeah. I'm going to try not to ramble about language. It's just my girlfriend's a language expert. So.
Are you serious? That's awesome, man.
She's the one teaching me German. So.
How many languages can she speak?
She can speak German. She can sort of speak Swedish because they're so similar.
Right.
Well, like a Croatian, some
there too, buddy.
Croatian. She can speak. Understand, but she lived in Germany for like a year.
Oh wow,
damn, dude,
for college. So
talk about like culture shock.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, absolutely. But then, I mean, a lot of weird stuff that you wouldn't think about. But as a language, German's it's weirdly easy. But a false cognitive, right? So, like, if you have a word, trying to think, a word that is spelled the same in one language, and in another, right?
Yes,
they're exact same looking word, but they mean completely different things. Yes, false cognitive. That's what that is.
Okay.
So, like, I can't think of a good example, but I can tell you that, like, in German, the word great, to say great is super, right? But it's spelled like super. Super.
Damn.
Oh, really?
But it doesn't, but like, so that's kind of where we get that, is from German. Zupa. S's or Z's.
Zupa me up. I'm in.
Yes.
Fuck.
I'm on
anyways,
E, man.
That's the most educational part of the show. It's
Pour
time to drink some more.
On me. I'm like way further than these boys.
But we were talking about
scheme.
Per Nilsson, who was in a band called Scar Symmetry.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Not even a band anymore, as far as I know.
I haven't heard.
And you were talking about how Per Nilsson was like an emotionless turd the whole show.
No, I wasn't going to say that because I was just impressed by. I was impressed by his performance, little GSP.
Because he's fantastic. He was the best thing about Scar Symmetry, other than
fucking dead on.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to get into, because I got a request from somebody and I want to fulfill that. They I don't know them. They messaged me and they're just like, hey, can you further talk about emotion and pro wrestling? And emotion with guitar playing, aka any instrument.
I feel like there's going to be a parallel here.
Right. Well, we tried before you got on the podcast, me and this man right here.
We tried to talk about the feel and then how the feel. And to me, feel was also
Diet Pepsis.
For pro wrestling with me was feel is more of like kind of like the emotion part.
Oh yeah.
So like I thought it'd be very similar in the sense of like the way that you can pull emotion out with like the way you play stuff too, like a solo, you know.
It is,
man.
This is probably the one thing we've talked about where I'd say this is exactly 1-to-1 the same exact thing across both. For sure.
And
because
and again, I don't want to cut you off, but I'm seeing that we're definitely on the same page, but I kind of want to set it up. So with Per Nilsson, amazing guitar player. He just there's so much emotion in your face, okay? And this literally translates to pro wrestling and music, okay? So with Per, and again, I want to give a comparison that's kind of, I don't know if everybody's going to get this, but Fedor Emelianenko, how he kind of is stone-faced. I don't know if a lot of people remember who that is. That's a Pride fighter. I'll put a picture up of him.
Yeah. So original, or he's a Pride fighter now.
He was from Pride.
He was from Pride.
FC,
he was like the baddest dude.
Oh, he was the champ, and nobody beat him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he just kind of had that with the whole time. And it was almost like, to me, because I also really enjoy people that are overt on stage, I was looking at him going, he doesn't like where he's at. And that, again, and a lot of people there, they're not thinking that, because a lot of people there don't know Meshuggah. And this was Chicago open air. So a lot of people probably are just like, oh, this is just cool to listen to something. But you know, seeing him pull it off, and everybody else was flipping the shit out, you know, I was like, dude, I don't think I could ever feel that way, you know, playing something like that. But then I realized the technicality and the, you know, there's levels to this game. That's hard. That's Meshuggah, man. You're playing, you're trying to be perfect, and he was perfect in my opinion. But again, just emotionless perfect. So my question would be,
just leave it.
I'm gonna leave it right here.
It's really hard to ask this. So there's the spectrum I just said, where there's like no emotion.
Right.
Then there's the spectrum of like too much. Like I'll give an example of that. Steve Vai. Where like guitar players.
Oh, there you go. Okay, I'm sorry. I can't wait to shit on Steve Vai.
Again, Steve Vai did a lot of original shit. Yeah. He inspired some of my favorite guitar players, for sure, Dimebag Darrell. But Dimebag Darrell, you know, made fun of him in the Pantera home videos, like Steve Vai, because he's like, you know, getting overt and weird, and he'd just do this. You know, and he's just very flamboyant would be the word.
Yes.
And again, Steve Vai is the crazy spectrum where you're like, okay, dude, every lick that you play, every harmonic that you play, you don't have to do that, right? And
the man has lasers shooting out of his fingers, though. How would you not? I mean,
so my question is, And again, we'll get into more technical. We'll get into more emotion, is what I was, somebody requested. And we'll get into feel, which is really hard to quantify. But we do have a brilliant bass player here that can kind of get into that a little bit. But the point is we have all seen the spectrum, and I just wanted to know, in your guys' opinion, have you seen the low level where you're like, what the hell? I thought he'd be more energetic. I don't know, Shug.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Actually, I've never seen somebody get on stage and but again, in that guy's defense, he's playing somebody else's music and he's trying to do it the fucking best he can, and he's probably, instead of letting loose on stage, he's like, dude, I don't play this all the time. This isn't my music. I gotta concentrate on not fucking up.
I didn't fully shit on him.
Right. He's probably got everything going through his mind. He's like, I gotta be there. And then, his face, sometimes that happens with pro wrestling when it happens to a lot of new guys, when you call spots in the back. And I tell guys all the time, I'm like, dude, if you're not showing this out here, you look like a deer in the headlights. There's no selling because you're concentrating on the next thing you have to do instead of being in the moment, which happens all the time with new guys. And I was super bad at that when I got into trying to remember all these different things going through my head. I'm like, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? And then I'm not fucking selling anything. I got kicked in the back and I'm like, oh yeah, wait, what's next? You know what I mean? That shit happens. So again, that guy was playing somebody else's music. He doesn't do it all the time. He's not always live with them. But
he's been doing it for quite a while.
Well, when you guys saw him, how long was he playing with them at that time?
When I seen him, probably at least a year and a half. So
probably
he got
3 years or so before. I mean, he's been touring with Meshuggah for a bit.
Okay,
and his style is, I mean, he was the best person to 100%. Fill in for Frederick Ford, and I mean, one of two people directly responsible for that band.
Yes.
So, but yeah, also I would agree with you. In the end, I would agree with you 100%. That's probably the case. And I mean, to counter that, I say I've seen him play live. I've seen footage of him playing live with his other bands and stuff, and it's the same thing.
Oh, okay. So he's just kind of in his moment,
right?
Just
and
playing.
Look, when you're a band and you're playing those kind of shows, and I can literally just look you up on YouTube and watch any footage, I'm not going to sit there and be like, this guy needs to work on his fucking stage presence, because the motherfucker's up there and I'm not. So. He's got his talent. To me, in that situation, if you want to go deeper, his talent kind of outweighs,
having to be over the top.
The entertainment aspect. Yeah. Watching that guy 100%. Play is enough for me.
Right.
For Steve Vai, that guy doesn't need to do all that shit. Yeah. But if you're going to Steve Vai, that's what you're looking for.
Right.
Right? Nobody going to Steve Vai. There's 5 people out of a whole 1,000 people that go to see Steve Vai that probably don't know what they're gonna see.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he has that audience.
I mean, and again, he has so much. I mean, that guy is a brilliant composer.
I would bring up
Oh, go ahead.
I would bring up but I would still bring up a better.
Yeah.
So if you want to replace Steve Vai with somebody, and tell how the appropriate amount of emotion is fucking Victor Wooten.
Oh yeah.
How many times did we watch Base Day 99? In the old.
Oh, dude, yeah, that was awesome.
And there is I think the perfect for a guy that's just up there, the solo musician. He's literally just up there playing his instrument, and that's what you're there to see. Is that guy Victor Wooten's the absolute.
So the word is virtuoso, and again, virtuoso. I seen Virgil Donati, one of the greatest drummers that's ever existed. He literally looks like an alien. I mean, he's got to be up there. But Virgil Donati, again, we say that, and it's like, who knows that?
There's gonna be
I swear to God, if I'm in a situation where I go, Virgil Donati's the best drummer that has ever lived, and some idiot stands up and goes, no, That's fucking it.
Well, what
Kick that guy the fuck out of here. Get out of my fucking show.
Get the fuck out of here, you
What happens
bitch.
if that idiot is like Mike Mangini or, you know, I'm just kidding.
No, listen.
Another
Funny,
obscure
Mike Mangini.
motherfucker.
Mike Mangini was apparently like so good.
Yeah.
But he played on that, and this is weird. I'm going off on a tangent. He played on that fucking Annihilator album from like 2007, I think. And it was just like Jeff Waters had a bunch of people like Alexi Leho played guitar on one of the songs. He had a bunch of random, because the album was just called Metal, and he had a bunch of like huge fucking people come on the album and play.
Right.
He recently re-released it, like a re-recorded version, and he got Dave Lombardo. Dave Lombardo played drums.
Oh,
and he got rid of all those shitty Mike Mangini parts, you fuck. You fucking, I don't even know who the fuck, who did he play for?
I didn't give a shit about Mike Mangini.
Right, exactly. You fucking,
let Mike Mangini out the box.
this whole story was to tell me how including Mike Mangini in this discussion was a fucking mistake. Because Jeff Waters went, nope, delete. And I hate Jeff Waters.
Right.
I love Annihilator.
You know, and again, you guys were talking about the fact that, you know, you have these people that they'll do, I mean, what we just said, crazy emotion. And we were just saying that maybe, you know, there's like a middle ground, and that's when it's like perfect, right? And my thing is like, you can be goofy, but like, it's got to be funny. And, you know, think of like Adam D Live.
Well, that's exactly what I was thinking of. So you can be completely goofy. You can walk to the bar and order a drink while you're playing, but you better be doing everything perfectly.
Oh my God.
Which is what he does.
Yeah. He does it so perfect that he does too much. Like
if Victor
will do pinch harmonics that didn't exist in the song before. Things like that.
They do it all the time. They do like a battle of it.
Yeah.
If Victor Wooten did what he did, and he did it, walking to the bar, ordered a drink, and molested somebody's mother on the bar, but if he was doing that perfectly, I'd be like, that's my fucking man. That's my fucking man, Vic.
The victor of the night.
He's
victorious.
So
sexually assaulting somebody's kid.
Wow. So that part.
Cut it.
I'll quit.
That part where on the DVD of Killswitch's DVD, they were like, if you were a blind person listening to Killswitch Engage live, you'd be like, oh, okay, awesome, they're great. But like, if you were a deaf person watching Killswitch Engage in live, you'd be like, what the fuck is this goofball running around with short shorts and his boxers sticking out of the bottom of him? What the fuck is this?
You know how he completely sold me? Was seeing him at QC Live.
Yeah, dude, and he was cool as fuck.
A shithole. But what did he say?
Who is the mark of the Quad City?
Dude, that was fucking awesome.
I wasn't even there, and I remember this story because I've heard you both tell the fucking story.
Oh, dude, I was so stoked.
Who is the mark of the Quad Cities with the quad titty? That's the shit I say, is what I think I literally said that. I go, that's the shit I would say.
Do you know what's crazy about that show is they fucking played in front of like 50 people, and Howard Jones did that part where I can't remember. I think it's at the end of like
Heartache?
No, Rose of Sharon, where's that scream, but it fades out, and then he goes back into singing over the top of it. He didn't. He just fucking belted till the end of the song, which I'd never seen him do that live.
Awesome. It was
Dude,
awesome.
They fucking killed in front of 50
gave
people.
Me the mic.
Yeah.
That's
you
how,
remember that shit?
Yeah.
That's
like he straight gave me the mic. Because I'm just standing there, me and Shug, and we're just belting. We lost our voice. For sure.
I did. My voice was fucking gone for 2 days.
It was whatever.
That's so one
I
that
probably fucked up the lyrics the entire time because I'm horrible at that. But yeah,
that's so one I'd go back and see. Like I skipped that. I had a chance to go and I didn't.
Adam D was out fucking just selling his own merch and shit. Like I walked up to him,
because they're fucking professionals.
Yes,
they're a fucking professional.
That's
band.
always fucking cool when people do that though. Like
so, me and Shug seen them literally at what do you call this? I just kind of want to say. No, I don't know the word, but it's literally like right before they blew up.
Yes, it was.
No, like that show, boom, nobody's And I say nobody's there, but it was packed.
It's hilarious because the album wasn't out yet, but we knew all the fucking words from the End of Heartache album because it fucking leaked.
He literally gave us the mic. He's like, oh, they got,
these guys know all the
Can you
fucking...
imagine how crazy that was for that, for those guys?
Right,
oh my God.
Play a show, your album's not out, and the whole fucking crowd knows every song in the fucking album.
It's like when I was looking at Lyndon and I, bacon, bash.
I remember that. Holy shit.
Yeah. Lyndon's like, wait, what? You bacon bash? And we
No,
became
I didn't.
best friends again.
I don't even remember what I was thinking.
I know, you were fucking headbanging.
But
look at that and say, okay, we've seen him right at the pinnacle.
Literally,
that was the pinnacle.
Yeah.
And then boom, like literally nothing but
Grammy nominated.
nominated.
That's fucking, that was crazy. That year they were Grammy nominated.
Honestly, they should have did one more album and all died.
No, because Jesse came back and that shit with Jesse was fucking awesome. Come on. Come on.
No, I found it. There's a CD copy of Hymn of a Broken Man at Ragged Records right now.
Yeah.
I almost bought it. Because that shit's really
Dude, I really
good.
like the Times of Great stuff.
As soon as Jesse Leach rejoined Killswitch, and it didn't have anything to do with that, but it was the timing, and that's when I was like, there's enough Killswitch for me that I enjoy.
Right.
Like, the self-titled, where Howard was clearly having a huge coke problem and got broken up with.
Great.
Oh, dude, yeah. Something was going on. That was like Lost. Lost where he has that like that fucking vibrato. Yeah, dude, it was so good.
Engaged song by far.
Howard Jones taught me how to do vibratos.
Well, and again,
taught me how to try to do vibratos.
Dude, in that song,
Dimebag Darrell's guitar solos taught me how to do it.
No, Logan used to put that over.
Shit.
He really did.
My mom, because I,
You know what? I'm gonna take back what I said, and I'm gonna probably I will probably credit some guitar vibratos from trying to voice
100%.
Michael Romeo.
Oh my God!
I was getting ready to bring him up.
I've seen him at QC Live as
Dude, I was getting ready to bring them up because of that.
These are just all the cool shows I missed.
Yes,
dude, and I just stood and watched him the entire fucking time, pretty much.
It was so good that we got the perfect spot. But
Derek was right in front of him, like right fucking there.
You imagine like our group, the impact those shows we all saw at like that age.
Well, Devin Townsend played that show,
which I also missed.
Yeah,
I didn't know who he was. I didn't even know who he was at the time.
That was the Devin Townsend,
but that was the Symphony X. That was Symphony X also.
Yeah, that was Symphony X. And unfortunately, I didn't know the Devin Townsend project.
Yeah.
I wasn't into him at the time.
That was when he was touring for Synkestra.
I don't know.
Was it?
I don't know.
Maybe.
I can't remember.
Okay, so it was either. I'm going somewhere with this. I'm just trying to burp.
Oh, man, let's burp in each other's mouth. Anyway, go ahead, brother.
The French burp. He was either touring for Accelerated Evolution or Synkestra, which would have been a lot of weird stuff to hear.
Well, I got to tell
me, the Devin Townsend project didn't really take off until he got sober and started. And
that's what everybody was saying. Like that music
and Deconstruction and Ghost. That was like. If you haven't heard any of those are
I remember
phenomenal.
Actually, when I saw him live, I had only known him of the
Strapping on Leg.
That was it.
Yeah, because Alien had just come out, and he was touring. He was all fucked up. That was the best. That was probably you guys probably got to see Devin Townsend like as fucked up as any of us ever will.
Strapping Young Lad played there down at QC Live, and I didn't get to see it.
Yeah, they did.
I didn't get a chance
to see it either.
Yeah, that was a year.
Well, fucking Gwar played down there at one point.
Yeah, that was a good thing.
I drove Craig Hobart. I drove Craig Hobart to that show and dropped him off.
To Gwar?
Yeah. And then
I remember there were a couple shows where they were 21 and up, and I was like, dude, that's fucking bullshit, dude.
Dude, the first show I ever got to see at QC Live was Dying Fetus and Suffocation.
Nice. Oh, yeah. I remember I almost went to that.
Honorable mention, and I still own this CD. The first CD I ever bought at a concert, the opening band was, or the band on the tour, the opening band, because it was also local bands who ended up being friends of mine years later.
Right.
Jacob Gregory sang for one of the fucking bands on that show.
Shit, okay.
From Still Standing. And this band called Malamore. They're not around anymore, but I still have their fucking CD. And like the singer and the guitarist or the bassist were brothers.
Oh.
And you and Bruh's relationship have always reminded me of these two dudes who I only knew for like 5 minutes.
They hate each other?
But it was just like, I think it was later in the tour and everybody was all kind of beat up.
Yeah.
And me and Andy Russell are, shout out to Andy Russell, my fucking brother.
Yeah, he was a great guy. Every time I talked to him.
We were waiting there and I was trying to buy a shirt.
Oh.
Which I don't think I have the shirt anymore, but I fucking had it for like 15 years. I had it for a long time. I was trying to buy a shirt from these guys, and he's like, "Oh my, or he's like yelling at this guy behind the counter. He's like, "You didn't bring the fucking shirts in?" He's like, "Oh man, I was asleep." And he's like, "Go get the fucking shirts, dude." He's the vocalist, right? And he's got like Steve DiGiorgio curly hair. It's like really long, and it's go get the fucking shirts. This is like a little short guy with like bald. And he's just like, guy walks away and he goes back. He's like, that's my fucking brother. Sorry. I'm like, I don't know why that reminds me of you and bruh. And they just had this funny back and forth like while I was paying for the shirt.
Right.
And I talked to them and they were just it was the first time I'd ever talked to a band on tour, a band I'd seen live. And then I get a tap on my shoulder.
Uh-oh.
I turn around and this guy that's shorter than me, he's bald, and he's like, "Hey man, you gotta smoke." I'm like, "No man, sorry, I don't smoke." All right. And he's just kind of like, it ends up being the then vocalist of Dying Fetus.
What?
Oh, okay.
Who apparently had like a major coke problem.
Oh shit. Okay.
So like I thought I recognized him. I was like, "Are you singing? He's like, "Yeah, I'm in Fetus." He goes, "I'm in Fetus." And before I even got to be like,
Fetus.
I'm in Fetus. I'm in Fetus.
What a fetus.
So he's like jittery and shit. I don't know what's going on.
Doing good.
I don't think he was doing so good is what happened. Was it turned out, like I read years later that this guy was like a major cokehead and like just kind of disappeared. That's why there are 3 people.
He probably went to Rings of Saturn somewhere.
Which wasn't a band yet. Man.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that show changed me forever.
Can I say what Devin Townsend said hilariously?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Okay, so I was just saying how Adam D said something super funny.
Which, it's great.
Devin
only us would have got that. Like only me and Logan got that fucking joke.
What was it?
Calling somebody a mark is a wrestling thing, and Killswitch are fucking wrestling fans.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, so...
And then the wrestling sort of wrestling podcast. I never even
a mark is
that
like
was a wrestling.
A mark is like what was a wrestling term where like that's my mark. I have to get that motherfucker to buy what I'm selling.
I'm aware. It's actually one word I know in wrestling, but I never put that together in that story.
Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I think Shug's wrong. I think he literally just was looking for a funny pun.
I think it was just
hey, does anybody know
who
the mark
was
of the
Mark?
Quad Cities? Because the mark of the Quad Cities is the stadium, and he thinks he should be in there.
Well, I was just going to say,
that's a joke.
Who wants to bet they probably tried to book the mark originally?
Yes.
In that. When they were setting the tour up, and they were just like, no, because we only booked Garth Brooks or whoever at the time.
Well, Killswitch was still not blown up yet. You know what I mean? Like a year later, they could have played the fucking mark.
But in our market, right. And the Rust Belt didn't exist yet.
Nope.
So there was nothing bigger. You had the mark. Or you had QC Live.
That's it.
Right.
And that motherfucker that ran QC Live, whoever he is, probably tried to rip them off somehow, because that's all I ever heard about.
So I do actually know who got a lot of those bands there.
Yeah.
You guys remember me telling you about Jimmy? The big ass?
Oh, yeah, the big motherfucker.
Yeah. So it wasn't obviously him.
Jimmy was a bouncer. Big fucking beefed up dude. You don't remember hearing this story? I met the guy once.
It's literally a black guy who was Mr. Iowa, one of my good friends, And I say good friends because if you're still out there, Jimmy, I love you, man. He was always good to me. Had blue eye contacts, where one eye was blue, one eye was white.
Yeah, he was intimidating as fuck to be around, dude.
I've never heard of this person.
No, dude was intimidating as fuck.
He's not okay. So
he's not short either. He was a fucking tall dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've established he's not the guy that would show up to QC live shows in like a trench coat.
No, not that guy.
So here's the part
you know who I'm talking about.
I thought that was
black guy like
Sam.
Trench coat. Is that who it was?
I'm pretty sure it was Sam.
Yeah.
And now he's still
around. I don't see him.
He used to walk up and down Locust all the time because he walks everywhere he goes.
It's not Sam Morrell.
But it's not Hard Hat Harry.
I can't remember Sam's last name.
I think actually. It was Morrell.
Is it?
Well, Sam Morrell is a fucking comedian. That's a comedian.
I was like, no, I don't think that's it.
Morrell Mushroom. He was a black guy that got grown into a tree or something.
Oh my God.
Shut up.
Anyways,
tell the story.
All right, go back to your story.
I'm sorry.
We're pulling Logan's now.
This is how good episodes happen, though.
No, dude, I can't even believe that we're going to be on a 9th episode. I love it, man. I want to tell you guys.
We're damn close to double digits here soon.
I'll get back to it, but click it or ticket.
It's weird because should we be celebrating that we made it to 10 episodes? But I was telling Emily, I asked her that question rhetorically, and I go, but after the first episode I tried to do.
Oh God, I
was like, oh no, not again. And I was just, and I'm not saying that you ever you don't have a drinking problem. You never did. But
alcohol is a problem with me.
Oh, as I pour myself a drink.
Problem with me.
Lyndon. But we never told the story that you and I tried to do a podcast. You, me, and Alicia tried to do a podcast like 4 years ago. I'd still be down.
L&L and F&A.
And I mean, we were trying to figure out how to set it up.
Yeah.
And you got really drunk. I got drunk too. I got too drunk to deal with you being too drunk. And
I'm gonna look at the camera and be honest. I will rewatch those. I still have 2 of them. I am a shit show. I'm beyond.
Well,
the moment
listen. Yes. You're my fucking friend.
I love you,
You've
buddy.
been my friend for a long fucking time, both of you. And if I ever thought there was anything like major, I would have been like, dog.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But that wasn't the case. I mean, look, I had an issue too when I would do shit and my only way to get around the anxiety of doing things would be to like drink.
Yeah.
Well, I also worked 70 hours.
Yes. No, that dude. Absolutely is a fucking
and again, no excuse because I think a lot of people use that crutch, man. I worked 70 hours that week and I was like, I still want to do a podcast.
Yeah.
And then I'd invite Lyndon over and I had been drinking since I got off that day like an idiot. And again, I'm not saying it was a problem, but it does become a problem.
People can slump into ditches occasionally.
Well, it becomes a problem
I've done it
to the
plenty.
people.
Yeah, same here.
It becomes a problem to the people that you love because as soon as you leave, you're gone. Then Alicia's dealing with me being a fucking tard.
I mean, and that was a really small apartment too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But like for 2 people, I would say for 2 people that have such large personalities, which is you and Alicia together.
Fuck.
And then later on the dog.
So much. She was amazing.
And like me and Emily live in a really small apartment, but our personalities kind of interconnect in a way, and we are like one.
Your mashed potato to your ranch.
And like you and Alicia are like these fucking storms of just doing stuff, and I imagine
storms
this
doing stuff.
where you guys are now makes a big difference.
Oh yeah,
and shit,
and you were getting at something, but I wanted to really get back.
Yeah,
to what
I'm going off on tangents,
dude.
It's the whiskey.
Devin Townsend.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he made Adam D look like crap. Were you there, Shug? Okay.
He did say a lot of funny shit.
No,
but not one thing. Not one thing I can remember until you're about to tell me that.
Oh
part.
my God, my favorite moment ever. Okay, so there's not a lot of people there.
No, there wasn't.
Moment.
Yeah.
And this lady, and I say lady, she's old. walks up to the stage and just lights up a cigarette. You could do that then, by the way. It's a bar.
Yeah, it was still legal.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Fuck, they could. They could just do that.
So she lights up a cigarette. He's in the middle of the stage. And she lights up a cigarette as he's singing. And we're like to the left of the stage.
Yeah.
If you're looking at the stage. And because I don't know Devin Townsend Project, I'm just kind of like, oh, this sounds really good, of course. And I'm very interested. But I just don't know the songs or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, he looks down and just goes, put that shit out, bitch. I just died.
Now I remember.
I was like,
now I remember.
Oh my God. And I just kept saying, oh my God.
Well, you got to think, like, there are other states that were way before us about, like, you couldn't do that fucking indoors.
It was going on.
It was right into his lungs. Like, he quit at that. I don't know. You guys know a little bit.
I don't know if he was even ever really smoked cigarettes. I don't think he probably doesn't like.
I have no clue. But the point is, and she goes like, what? And there's like so not that many.
Oh my God! I don't even know you.
There's only one woman in front of him smoking. So who is he talking to?
So then he goes like, "It sounds really good to just smoke next to a vocalist who's singing." Like he's just kind of talking to me because I'm fucking like, fuck this bitch. Who is this bitch? She doesn't know this. And again, props to them. They played their shit. I didn't know it. I had no clue. And Symphony X, man. Dude, I want to say something about it. Derek was there, but here's what's really cool is I'm not badass like Derek a guitar. Derek can probably now especially play everything he probably seen that night, if I had to guess. But Michael Romeo, who played this solo, I always enjoyed that he did this really weird thing, and I kind of want to show it. And a lot of people don't know what an arpeggio is. Just to say he went up and down the fretboard for layman's, and then he hit with his thumb an artificial harmonic with the 24th fret. So he went, boo.
It's on the solo of Sins and Shadows.
Yes, one of my favorite songs. So I was predicting it, and I'm watching him, and this is how good he is. He was probably looking down at us.
Yeah, he
Not
didn't
even his fretboard.
No.
At all.
I never watched him look down at his guitar once. He actually was just in the moment, fucking feeling it. He never was like, some guys are like, "Fuck, I gotta watch myself do it."
And he does it, and I did it with him. I went. I did it with him. No, but I did, I mimicked it. I air guitared it. I go, because he goes, and he holds it. And then he looked down and he goes, "You must be a guitar player." And in that moment, I go, he doesn't have a clue. I'm a fucking bitch, and I got nothing. I got nothing.
You got nothing.
I couldn't do that, and I say I couldn't do that. I mean, I literally broke my finger, and I tried to do arpeggios for the longest time, and my finger just goes, no. So again, amazing that he did that. That he looked down and was like, "You must be a guitar player," or something. And he just pointed at me. I don't think he said that. I'm just exaggerating.
Was he wearing a frilly shirt?
I don't know.
I think he had like a purple button-up fucking shirt, bro. Half open up here.
That's what it was.
And it was, he was just going, bro.
Malmsteen's
That's
best
what
buddy.
it was. Yeah,
Jason Becker, which are amazing. But I want to say something, though. Let's get back into it. Because emotion on those instruments is a very hard thing to quantify. It's a hard thing to explain to somebody who doesn't know anything. And I want to say, though, that there is terms that are very similar to pro wrestling. So I'm going to get back to that. So we look at, let's just do one of them because there's so many of them. Feel is the hardest one to quantify.
Right.
I've been asked, even though I was asked emotion, we'll get into emotion. Emotion has something to do with feel. But feel on an instrument and feel in pro wrestling, there is something that's very close.
It's the same.
It is. Lyndon, do you want to take feel on guitar or bass, and guitar. You play guitar.
Yeah, he plays both.
It's the same thing.
But feel on guitar or bass. Can you kind of explain that?
Well, yes and no. The only way I can explain it is explaining it both for how I perceive it with wrestling and how I perceive it with music.
Just do the music part, and then.
Well, I feel like okay. So when you're from my perspective, right? Like, I mean, a lot of the whatever I do on stage is natural because what I'm doing is very hard and very painful. Yeah, for the most part. You don't think of it in terms of pain as like pain, like you're getting something pierced. You know, like when I got my septum pierced, that was painful. But it's like an energy, and you're using muscles. It's like lifting.
Yes,
it's like lift. It's like pain lifting. It's not a pain, but it's like stress and it's resistance.
Yeah.
And when you're playing something like guitar or bass, I guess is a good example. You're using a lot of pressure to push those notes down, especially the lower you are on the neck. It's hard, especially like if I have to play something on the first fret, like at a Pit Lord show, you know, stuff that's
6-string bass.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's still a B, it's still a low B string,
right? But it's still
G.
It depends on your tension, I suppose.
Yeah, well, it's intonated for low G, so it's a little floppy, but still, and it's multi-scale, so that fret, first fret is a little bit, it's tilted, so it's a little bit lower, so it's like. And when I'm playing stuff like that, it's like stressful and I have all this energy and I'm playing and it's coming out naturally, but it didn't used to. You know, I had to figure out how to do that. I had to figure out how to be comfortable on stage in front of people and like emote. And it's sort of like letting it come out just rather than because when people are nervous about being on stage, they're nervous about how people are you're nervous about how people are perceiving you. You're thinking about what that person's thinking and that person and that person and blah, 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 blah. And the trick is you forget that there's anybody there.
Yeah. Right. Half the time with, sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Like when people think I'm looking at one person, realistically, I'm literally looking at somebody else's feet, not even a person's face, like just pretending they're not there.
You gotta look peripherally.
Yes.
You're looking at the floor, you're looking at somebody's pants.
But it'll look like I guarantee there's a person thinking I'm staring right at them, but realistically I'm looking at a person behind you just looking at the fucking floor.
Right.
Because it's not a distraction.
Yeah. You can't get, like, if you look at one person, sometimes it can be completely distracting.
Because somebody's facial expression can make you be like, oh, what the fuck is that guy's problem?
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's always...
Or why is this guy bored?
You'll know what I'm talking about. You'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah. That one motherfucker standing there doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Impress me. Suck my dick.
What else
Fuck
you got? What else you got?
Every time.
I saw Converge here last week. Their drummer's really good. You guys don't even have a drummer.
So yeah, like that. There, if you focus on one person, sometimes you can throw your whole game off.
So I do this thing at metal shows when you're playing a show. It's easy because you have everybody's facing. I look at shirts because your eye kind of like goes there.
Right.
If I look at people's shirts and I try to like memorize everybody in the front, what they're wearing, that makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
I can think about what lyrics I have to sorry. It's this fucking whiskey.
Rum, actually,
lyrics.
Rum, buddy.
Is it rum?
Yeah,
it's rum.
Sail with the Kraken, buddy.
I thought it was whiskey the whole time.
No.
I still feel like I hope you're coming to this, but feel it. I have a different opinion.
Yeah,
so formulate it.
I was going off. So I had to figure out how to forget about people at first, and then I had to figure out how to remember that there are people because I don't want it. I don't. In the end, I feel like the goal is to make people at least have an idea of what you are supposed to be feeling.
Right.
You may not be emoting exactly what you feel at the time, especially with you because you're acting,
right,
in a sense.
Right.
With me, it's natural, but I had to figure out how to do that naturally and just be the purest form of me is on stage.
Right.
You know, I make mistakes and I make bad jokes and stuff. Like, I've said some shit in front of people and I'm like, oh, fuck. But
don't cancel me. Don't cancel me.
Yeah, I had to figure that out, and I had to remember. And then it becomes accurately emoting what you're doing to create a visual sort of guide.
Yeah.
You know, because in the end, as a live performer, your job is to dictate the energy in the room.
Yes, definitely. That's what. Well, with pro wrestling,
before you start, whether it's pro wrestling, whether it's music, whether it's comedy, whether it's acting, whether it's a play, your job is to control the emotional environment.
Right.
Yes. If you're thinking, you're stinking.
Yeah.
Zach Wilde said that, so that's a quote from him.
Go ahead. Say what you were going to say.
Is that a real quote?
That's a good bow tie on what I was trying to say.
I don't think that's feel, and I'm going to say what you said was control live. Feel in an instrument is that I can just give you a beat right now, Lyndon, and you can literally just feel it.
Oh, you're talking in like a technical sense.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, and again,
I'm with you with feel.
Yeah, I thought that's where we were going.
So Logan's thing of feel is like the way
the actual pocket.
You're saying live.
Right.
Live feels different. For sure.
Well, we started talking about this because you were talking about seeing Per Nilsson live. Mm-hmm. Which is why I thought we were talking about live.
But Per was the emotion of music. So say, for instance, you're actually expressing the emotion of playing Frederick Thronedorl's lick. In my subjective opinion, as a listener, I go, oh, he has to go, oh, he has to love it.
I can't believe I'm playing this.
That's the Swedish translation.
Literally, it is. And it is literally sweet-ish. The point is I look at music technicality. The terms feel literally means I can give Lyndon. Well, I just showed you guys a beat or a song, and he could just play it or not play it. He can just feel it. He goes,
I would put it in a way I could come up with ideas.
Right.
It gives me ideas.
But there is a feel with wrestling, though, and with wrestling, in my subjective opinion, I'm not a pro wrestler. Feel is someone who can pick up on what the audience says, which I believe is pro wrestling in a nutshell.
Yeah, for the most part, like sometimes this is the part where you're like, you can hear what they say. It'd have to be all group saying, because there have been so many fans who walk up to me like, did you hear me? Did you hear me? I'm like, honestly, I'm not even going to lie. I'll look right at the camera. Like half the time it's just, I can't really, you know what I mean? Like
all one
noise. It's all one fucking noise unless it's group, like Shug, that I can fucking hear.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like, if there's one person in the back, it's like, ah! I didn't even really hear that person.
I think that's false, because one time I came up with a really stupid saying, and I said it, and you seen me say it.
That's because you're loud and the biggest person in the fucking place. How the hell? And nobody's saying anything at that point.
It's really hard to focus on one person unless they're like in your face.
Unless they scream the word scope.
Or again,
super loud.
Again, hang on. No, like scope. Yeah, that shit. When nobody's fucking saying anything. Also, I've seen DVDs where Alex Shelley he's one of my favorite wrestlers. Is wrestling a guy on a Pro Wrestling Guerrilla DVD, and there's one fan who's just out of his mind drunk. Just out of his mind drunk. Nobody's saying anything. He's like, we're in California. Don't give us this Philadelphia match. And Alex Shelley looks at the guy and goes, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was watching the DVD and I was dying laughing. That one drunk guy who's just yelling random shit when nobody's saying anything. Yes, I will hear that guy, but that's it. Right. But yes, you're right. When it comes to hearing the crowd, and there are moments that I try to teach the students is like, there's a thing where you like put somebody in a hold and like the crowd starts coming. You know what I mean? All right. So the baby face.
So here comes some feel.
Yes. So, and I'm like, hey, they're not coming yet enough. Right. And I got to start moving more. Because when I move more, they get the energy from me moving. So they're starting to feel me while I'm feeling them. And the more I move, I'm like, all right, here we go. Now I'm going to start coming to my feet. And stuff like that.
This is exactly what I was fucking talking about.
Yes, exactly.
I think you were. Fuck. I did not interrupt you. But I feel like that, when he was saying that, I was like, dun, 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 dun. Like
it's like fucking one of the coolest fucking riffs, man.
That drummer who doesn't exist, rest in peace, Vitek. If Vitek came to Lyndon and was like, "Hey, do you think you can play this?" You know, and he just busted into it. I feel like you could feel his emotion. Maybe that's wrong.
No.
I think you were talking about the same thing we are. Just like it's a different perspective.
Well, that's why I said live perspective. Right. You said live. I was just talking about your basement.
But if you want to, I mean, if you want to talk about studio, you want to talk about just recording sensors, just audio. It's this. I mean, realistically, like a musician's job, live or on recording, is the same, and that's to evoke an emotional response.
Exactly.
Which is exactly what a pocket is doing because it's hooking you.
Yes.
And
hey, you're gonna smoke, you stupid bitch!
What are those Virginia Slims?
Put that fucking shit out, bitch.
I don't want no fucking donuts.
Hey, she was smoking Cools.
Oh, really? That was like the second cigarette I ever smoked.
Mooted Cool. That's a Dimebag Darrell.
So with wrestling, like I said, sometimes you feel the crowd, and realistically, old school, they would only call the finish in the back. You know what I mean? That's nothing but feel. Ric Flair was the fucking man. Harley Race, those guys would fucking feel the crowd. Woo! Exactly. Talk about a dude who was so just living in the moment always. Ric Flair. And his life reflected from pro wrestling as well, because like he fed off, he made Sting. Without Ric Flair, there's no Sting. I'm telling you that right now.
Which is weird, because what little I know, what I've seen of Sting, he seems like a completely different kind of character.
Right. Yeah, he's changed. Well, I mean, it changed after the whole NWO thing happened, but like the fact that Sting is that, he's the man now, but like think about when he broke in. Without a Ric Flair, there would have never been a Sting, or even Sting.
He said woo.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
yeah, he did too. Like when he was the surfer Sting with the fucking flat top, bleached out. Dude, you never seen any of that old school shit? Dude, his face paint was different color. He had a flat top, bleached out fucking hair.
No,
dude.
that's what appealed to me about wrestling was the when it would just break into silliness.
Oh yeah,
and everybody's like, yeah,
dude.
Like,
every time.
That's why bands like Party Cannon and Elbow Deep. Have you listened to Party Cannon? I'll send you some.
You gotta send me some of that stuff.
Attila.
Well, Attila's they're goofy in a sense,
but sound of 1,000 clapping asses.
This is so
ever.
I so derailed Shane by this, but
it's okay.
Party Cannon is a slam. They're like a death metal band. Their logo is bubbly, goofy letters that say Party Cannon.
Oh, and then that's their music.
And their music is like, they have an album called Partied in Half. And it's a guy that's been cut in half, but it's like confetti. And he's like,
I'm excited to listen to this.
I'll send it to you right now.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's even like not Villiard, sorry. It's even like Zenith Passage. Their videos.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that shit going on, but Party Cannon, their theme is like it's like partying sort of, because their newest album is called Volumes of Vomit, and it's just their bassist. It's this shittily clip art like Photoshop cover of their bassist vomiting.
Wow.
And
that's funny.
Like, it's really, no, they're goofy, right? But it's legit. Same thing with a band from, I'm just going to put some bands over.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Come on, fuck it.
There's a band from Arizona called Atoll. They just got signed to Unique Leader Records, and they use they're like the new Skinless. They use like the goofy like audio clips before. And they have a song called Knifed in the Butt. Like, just like fucking, like, dude, and it's so good, but it's heavy as fuck. And there's a lot of that stuff going on. And it's
That's
like,
awesome.
I'm happy me and Dan bit Pit Lord, because there's a lot of bands that are
You have
doing
fucking,
like goofy, but it's still heavy.
Yeah.
And the band we're playing with on the Cannibal Cookout, called Elbow Deep.
Date again.
What?
The date again for the Cannibal Cookout.
May 6th and May 7th.
Well, I'll put up the pictures, brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Fucking,
So that's a Saturday and Sunday then.
Friday and Saturday.
Oh, it's a Friday and Saturday?
Yeah, Galesburg.
So the May 7th is a Friday?
It's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday. Oh, yeah, well, I'm
Friday and
retarded.
Saturday.
I'm retarded.
But Elbow Deep, they're a band from Chicago. Fucking vocalist does like ECW shit on stage. He staples shit to his face.
That's fucking
awesome. Dude, I'll send you some fucking photos from their FTA set. When Crater played FTA, Elbow Deep played FTA, and he was fucking Jerry Kavoriaris, the vocalist, big, huge, buff dude with a beard, covered in blood, like in his underwear, like stapling dollar bills to his face. And like, Dan's all nervous because we're gonna follow them. They play before us at Cannibal Cookout. He's like, dude, the fucking stage should be covered in blood.
We're gonna fucking
and we
slip.
have to run lights and stuff on the stage. He's like, dude, our fucking chords are gonna be all bloody and shit like that. But
Put gloves on.
The Elbow Deep, they're gonna release an album. Their album release show is Cannibal Cookout. And the album is called Homeschool Shooter. And the newest song, look it up on Spotify. Find them on Spotify. Or wherever. But they released a song called Kill All the Women and Cut Off Our Dicks. And it's heavy as fuck. They're so good.
I'm stoked to check this out.
Like, my point being, just like goofiness, silliness, like with the same air of like heaviness and silliness.
Right.
Like, I feel like that kind of like pro wrestling thing has been bleeding over into metal for quite a while, probably longer than I'm aware.
For sure.
But I mean, there was Bite the Turnbuckle.
Oh, yeah.
From Chicago also.
Right.
And did all, and like literally put the two things together.
Damn, that was a band?
Yeah.
I gotta check them out.
Yeah, they would do like basically like hardcore like blood matches during their set.
Okay.
That's
awesome.
Think about that. That's fucking crazy.
Shit. Yeah, like I'm talking like legit fucked up ECW. I mean, just the
hardcore shit.
The hardcore shit, man.
I mean, ECW, like
that's my reference is ECW.
I know. I think you've watched a lot of ECW, right?
No.
He's seen like the clips and stuff.
ECW. All right. So I want to
revolutionized business, and that's no joke.
I don't want to take over, and I don't want to not continue with the feel and or.
But it's building on the same thing,
right? It is. But I want to say something though. With I've been watching Raw, at least. I've watched SmackDown twice. I want to say, obviously, again, subjective opinion. I am not a pro wrestler. I do not want people to be like, "Oh, this hater." I'm not a hater. I just
everybody has an opinion and a voice, anyways. Like the fan who's been watching wrestling their whole life thinks they can tell me what I'm fucking doing wrong when they've never even trained to be a pro wrestler. So
no shit,
right. But also, you don't hate on them if they buy your shirt.
I don't give a fuck. You buy my merchandise, cool. You say whatever the fuck you want about me. Spend money on me. I don't give a shit.
So let me get back to what I was saying. I believe that especially with what we were talking about, when we're talking about the product WWE, it makes me wonder so much why they've gotten so far away from having a bad guy and a good guy. And then I think about it, and this is just my opinion, Shug.
Right.
Is it because everybody does cool shit?
Well, here's the thing, and it's a catch-22 because promoters are like, I want you to be a heel. And one of my students was actually...
moves, by the way.
Well, I know.
Everybody does cool moves.
I know. I'm getting there.
Okay.
One of my students, Xander Killing, and then one of the other students...
That's a dope name.
Yeah.
Xander Killing.
Yeah, it's fucking cool, right?
Never changed.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
A picture of
so
that,
we had an awesome fucking program. Me and him and SCW we had a really good video package and shit like that going into it. So, anyways, at one point you hear from all these guys like, well, we want you, our promoters, like, work as a heel. Well, if you go back and you fucking work strictly Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard fucking heel, you do nothing cool. But then what happens then? You don't get fucking booked anywhere because they think you're fucking boring. So all of us are bred to fucking have to do some kind of intricate, cool stuff in a way. And then, but sometimes it bleeds over as a heel. Like, you can't just be a heel, which WWE and even AEW are like Chris Jericho is still he's a fantastic heel, no matter what. Yes. Jericho still does Jericho. He's a fucking heel. And the only cool thing he still does is like the lion salt. And at his age, like, yes, that is cool. But it's bled over to the point where heels are sometimes doing cooler shit than the fucking faces, the baby faces.
Which is okay. I just want to say, though, that especially because I've been watching Raw, Edge kills it. He knows how to be a heel. So you're talking generationally. Generationally. Go ahead, brother.
Before you start,
yeah,
I would say I wanted to add to that, and I think it's the same thing that goes on in music, in general, and that's saturation.
Yeah, because it's oversaturated.
There are so many wrestlers. There's so many people doing it.
Right.
Yeah. There are so many outlets. Or it's not just WWF.
Yeah, at this point, wrestling fans have like. It's funny because like one of the students came and was trained with the fucking school and never even knew there was independent wrestling.
Dude, listen, like it being in a death metal band, I wish I could just write lyrics about zombies and eating people and stuff. And for the most part, like as far as music goes, I think it's a little more forgiving. You can get away with that just because there's somebody out there that's looking for that.
Regardless.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But in the greater scheme of things, if you want to be a successful act in like metal and stuff, like you have to stand out. You have to do something different.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because otherwise, like bad guy versus good guy, even in movies, that's not always going to fly.
No.
Because that's been done for 1,000 fucking years.
Yes.
So my thing about that is one time Colby, when I was still part of the school, he was like, you're not a bad guy just because you're a bad guy. You have to tell yourself that what you're doing is right because that's what villains they think they're their hero of their story.
The people following you have to be on your side.
Exactly.
People that were Hogan fans had to be fine with being with the good guy or the bad guy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously.
So like it's one of those things where like being a bad guy and a good guy, like sometimes the lines are blurred. I mean, that happened naturally with Steve Austin. Have you ever watched any of his stuff? Like
WrestleMania.
I mean,
and guess what? He knows how to deal, just like Edge knows how to deal. It's a generational thing. Your generation, fucking, in my opinion, doesn't get what's going on. And now I'm not saying Shug doesn't get it. He's fucking awesome. I watched your guys' match and it was fucking awesome. Matt Cage. I was like, they told a story. They know what the fuck's going on. I don't care about the scene. It doesn't mean they're. By the way, they're not in the WWE. They're fucking doing great, and everybody's watching, and everybody's attuned to it.
Dude, it doesn't matter whether you're in the WWE, whether you're on fucking Metal Blade Records, whether you're on. You just do stuff.
Good. Are you attuned
do to stuff good?
Exactly. Right. So my thing is with wrestling in particular, why? And again, I say it with a grain of salt because I've loved wrestling for my whole life. Can't we just have a clear bad guy? And when I say that, I want to say, in layman's terms, bad guys cheat. Why can't you rake somebody's eyes? Why can't you? And again, a good guy put his hand on the ropes to kick out. A bad guy used to do that. Right. So Ric Flair taught you guys, and I'm not trying to talk down because I love pro wrestlers, but Ric Flair used the ropes when he was fucked.
All the time.
And again, that pissed people off. They go, what the fuck?
Right.
This guy can't use the ropes. You know? And again, I'm not trying to be this old school asshole. I'm just trying to say, like, there's a feel of things. I want to get back to it. That is feel is knowing what pisses people off live. And I just want to say, give props to Edge. And I also want to do a pun. Edge in pro wrestling. Have an edge.
Yes.
Can I just book the territory right now? Shug? I know this is weird. I'm just going to make up a scenario. Can I just
Wasn't Edge on Fear Factor? He was on Fear Factor.
Oh, I don't know.
He might have been.
He was on Celebrity Fear Factor.
I'm going to tell you guys this story since we're speaking of Edge real quick. I did have a fucking dream where I got concussed.
Oh, shit.
And then my eyes flashed and I'm in the WWE ring. And Edge is like, I got you, kid. I got you, kid. This is the next. And he's calling the spot to me, and then I fucking wake up. So you talking about Edge right now, I was like, dude, that's fucking weird. Like that, I literally had that dream like not that long ago.
What's his real name?
Is Adam Copeland.
Yes. Well, again, Edge had a promo on this last Raw, and it was amazing because he called people mongoloid head and shit. And I love that shit. Tell these idiots. And he said, Buffalo Bills, you never won nothing, you idiot.
That's not even a lie.
I loved it. But the point is like, he was a real heel.
Yeah.
Now, again.
Dude, Edge, he was in a movie. Oh, sorry, I don't want to cut you off. You want to be entertained? Edge was in a movie called Money Plane recently.
Oh, okay.
And it's like universally regarded as like one of the worst fucking movies.
Oh god,
10 years.
I want to watch it.
But also
watch it. It's so fucking stupid.
Also, though, Edge was also on one of Sci-Fi's best shows, that Haven. Edge was on that show. Yeah, he was on Haven.
Haven was good.
I remember that. I watched like one episode.
But he wasn't like a part of the first season.
I don't think he's a poor actor. No. I think most wrestlers are good actors.
Yeah.
Because
it's natural.
Yeah.
Listen, wrestlers are the
best
actors. Because I'll tell you why. Because they literally do it improv straight up every time.
Right.
You mean Shane just said that in like 3 words.
Yeah.
So
you're right.
You're late. You're late. You're late.
So I just want to say this. Can I book something?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. This is a new
segment?
Whoa. No, booking in wrestling means you come up with an idea.
Okay.
So Linda doesn't know that.
No, yeah, not just actually booking an entire show. Like
I'm gonna book something.
Not the technical sense.
It's the booker is the writer.
I gotcha. Yeah. Fucking motherfuckers in your language.
Carny ass motherfuckers.
It's like you know what? You want to go back to language? Wrestling is very much English, and German is metal. Because German as a language is very, very literal. As in the word for turtle, it translates to shielded frog. Or frog.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, okay.
So wrestling, and it's weird I'm making this comparison, but wrestling is what English is like, where it's like you have these words that make literal sense in better languages. And versus, other stuff. So anyways.
Well, no, I mean, you hit it on the nail because...
Book something.
I just want to book something because I just want to say something that I miss is that WWE... which is what I maybe it could be anybody. Let me just grab the Shug here. Because the Shug is a real character I know. The Shug finds so much joy in wrestling, right? And I just feel like if I book a territory, okay, I say, what is the weirdest thing in pop culture that would make or break, it's called getting over,
right,
with the Shug character? And in my opinion, I've heard about something.
Okay.
And so you're doing your thing, you're kicking ass.
Right.
And all of a sudden, some weird music breaks out. Everybody goes, what the fuck is that? And Amber Heard comes out.
Oh my
Johnny
God.
Depp's fucking girl.
And then I make out with her in the ring, and I become the number one fucking heel in everything.
No. Okay, but no, even better. Can I add something?
Yes.
I know how to make really, really good fake poop.
Okay.
Oh,
I can
okay.
Do you want to eat a fake turd?
Oh yeah, say it's hers.
From Amber Turd.
Say it's
she
Amber
literally,
Turd.
I can make it. No, listen. I can make it that she literally pulls it like
out of her ass,
and hands it to you.
Oh my God!
And you just go, and it would just be made out. It would be made out of like cocoa and cookies and stuff.
Damn.
But
you have to remember that Amber Heard is like the most talked about thing right now.
I know. I've been ignoring it.
I know you guys have been masturbating about her beating the shit out of her man.
No.
But anyway.
No.
Now again, Shug no, because he's gotten the shit kicked.
I like to be beat.
Had that happen. I know Johnny Depp's fucking feeling. Just saying.
So my point is Amber Heard comes out and she just says, I won't hit you. all of pro wrestling
dude.
goes, who is this guy? Who's the Shug?
Dude,
So
that'd be huge.
Now, here's the
Hey, let's start a fun me.
Are you assuming that everybody at the show would know who Amber Heard is?
At this point, everybody in the United
knows.
States fucking knows who she is, I would say. I would honestly say
covering
that.
all angles.
I mean, I think at this point, everyone fucking, even if they did,
doing a show out in like Walcott, Iowa, and there's not going to be one guy that's.
There might be one dude, but
one dude. I guess one dude is better than.
I'm going to tell you, I
Shug
think
ain't going to be in Walcott, Iowa. It's going to be AAW.
It would be in Chicago.
Okay, I don't know where they all are.
All right, so if
you're right.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Do you like my book?
If I love it, because honestly, if you want to. Honestly, the company might even get heat for booking her too, but I could always go out there and be like, no, I fucking booked her to come with me and like not even put it on the company at all. But like real heat, she comes to the ring, I make out with her, instant fucking number one heel in pro wrestling.
First of all, I would guarantee at this point you could find an Amber Heard impersonator.
Probably.
That's at least close.
Oh yeah.
No,
like
fuck that.
Best.
I want the real deal,
what
though.
I'm saying about WWE.
Book an Amber Heard impersonator for like $150.
Yeah,
she probably lives in Chicago.
Guys,
probably.
She's on Chicago. She's on Cicero. She's on North Cicero eating a turd. That's real. She's like, oh, finally, I can pursue my dream of Amber Heard impersonator and also eat shit at the same time.
Oh. Me nut, peanuts. Anyway.
That's not the name of the episode.
No, I was like, dude, I was looking at you. Please don't call it that.
No.
The point is,
book it, Amber Heard.
Yeah, no, I love the idea too. It's hilarious.
No, it's hilarious, topical. And also like, who knows where her acting career is going to go after this, honestly. And to get real fucking heat and exposure, it would be fucking genius, smart. Even if I booked her one time, she came out and fucking slapped a dude or threw shit at my fucking opponent, blinded him, and then I fucking rolled him up and then made out with her. One time. Never have to book her again. You know, so much fucking exposure.
You know what would be such a great prop is a fucking, like an adult diaper filled with chili. Like Hormel beanless chili. Get the beanless, right? Because it's chunky,
it looks like shit.
Doesn't have like the.
It really does.
slaps somebody, like she slaps you in the face with a full diaper of like beanless chili. Oh,
and then I still make out with her with my shit on my face.
Because it's chili. It's Hormel chili. It's not bad. It's all right. I get it in my mouth. That's the trick. No, that's literally though. That's the trick for like shit.
Oh yeah,
like gags is you make it out of something. You make it out of brownie mix, or chili. Or
for real.
That's like edible. And you're not absolutely disgusted.
I also hang on real quick.
Go ahead, brother.
You thinking of shit and me thinking of shit, and in movies, remember in Hall Pass, dude's like trying to hang out, like get with that chick, and she's like, my stomach hurts so bad, and she farts, but shits and squirts all over the fucking wall.
I never saw a movie.
You never saw Hall Pass? I was like, all right, so
Hall Pass
it was fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
But anyways, she's like, oh, I feel better, and he's just like, yep. He was gonna fuck her, but then like, no, not anymore.
I mean, you know,
wrong.
I want to hear what else you got, because that'd be fucking huge exposure for me if I got booked.
Okay,
dude, I'm telling you, even if you got an Amber Heard impersonator, that'd be so fucking funny.
Oh yeah,
dress her up like she's in Aquaman or
but everything's everywhere. Right?
Still,
but if she's in the outfit, like looking like she does in fucking Aquaman,
you splatter Amber Heard all over because that's what it's gonna be.
Right.
That's interesting.
I got so many ideas, and I don't know why I have them. I hate having them, Shug.
I wish I had money to book her. When it's all said and done, we might be able to, because her career might go down the shitter, literally.
Give it a couple years. She comes out of a giant toilet. You roll a giant toilet out down the ramp,
and then she comes out of it.
You're like leading out. You're leading it out,
and everybody's like, "What the fuck is this?"
And she just sprouts out of it.
And I'm a plumber, so it makes even more sense.
Fucking
sprouts out like a toilet tree.
Oh my god. That's the name of the episode. Sprouts out like a toilet -tree.
Yes. Oh my god. Yes. And people are like, my favorite is that comes up towards the tail end, and everybody has to wait. We're like, why the fuck? How the fuck did they come up with the name of the episode? You have to listen to the whole fucking thing.
Listen to the whole fucking thing, you fucking idiot.
No, you got to go to the Patreon, and you maybe buy it.
I don't know what's on the Patreon.
Anyway, you can buy it for $1. We have 3 patrons now, and they're kicking killer. And,
did you do that because of RoboCop?
You know, here's. I have an idea for the Patreon, right? Because people can make your own name on Patreon, right?
Yeah.
So
it's Wrastlin with Music and Life.
But people that like Patreon subscribers, right?
Yes.
They change their names to wrestling names.
That'd be cool.
And then the coolest ones we fucking mention on the show.
Oh, man.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, if you change your name to a wrestling name.
Yeah, if they come up with a name that they could pick.
They could just message us with a wrestling name.
Right.
And it has to be the funniest, the best fucking wrestling name, and we'll fucking
put it over.
We'll put over like the best 5.
Yes.
The best 5 wrestling names. That'd be hilarious.
That'd be awesome.
Bro.
That'd be so fucking fun, actually.
We're booking the territory right now.
Yes, let's hear it.
Patreon territory.
So what we'll do is we'll each pick the best 5 that are our favorite.
Yep.
And then fucking vote on the one.
Yes. Between us 3.
That'd be great.
That would be fucking fun.
Man, I love it.
Logan used to come up with the best fucking wrestling names.
Used to.
Robbie Cardboard.
You remember that?
I don't know why. I remember
I forgot about that so much.
I mean, why wouldn't you be able to make that work? Right? Like,
no, I said Robbie Cardboard.
Robbie Cardboard. I don't put myself in a box.
I love it. Don't box me!
Don't box me!
Don't box me!
Oh, shipping you out, DHL.
I'm fucking cardboard of this conversation.
If you join the Patreon, message us your best wrestling name, and we'll fucking
we'll vote. Put it to a vote, and you could end up getting put it over, brother.
Put you over, brother. Over. I think what's cool is, man, he came to your show. he commented. He's a great guy. He said Colpster was in, Buffalo. Garrett, Pit Lord Garrett, fucking reached out and commented.
Did he?
Like and subscribe.
Yes,
and
come on.
comment, brothers and sisters. It was really cool that you did that, Garrett. You were fucking awesome, and you did fucking make the pit that night. You literally won the night.
Yeah.
You're the brother.
He was there. I know Garrett.